If I had $1 million, I would spend it on cocaine and hookers. Definitely not audio equipment. Anything but audio equipment. Ariel Atom with a Hago wrap on every bar. So I just recently, if I know the time schedule for this release of this video, I just recently did the DAC off video between the SMSL SU9N, which by the way had no MQA, and that was a clapping moment, and the topping DX3 Pro, you know, the little one, the little D3X, yeah. And one was 400 and one was 200. And I went on and on and on about DACs, and I'm like, well, DACs all basically get a good one and you're all the same. So here we sit with two DACs on a Grovemate stand, by the way. Excuse me, I had Thai food. I'm not going to puke. On a Grovemate stand, which, by the way, affiliate link to Grovemate in the description. This fucking thing's nice, expensive, but oh my God, is it so nice. And I've got an SMSL DO200, DO200. That's $489, so $90 more than the SU9N, but has a lot more going on, and then including MQA. It's like, oh, the mouse is just cruising down. I think the buttons are too shiny. MQA just like plastered all over the page, exact opposite of the SU9N. And then on top of it here is a, I guess it's a tube DAC amp. Tube DAC amp and combo. These are sent to me by Aoshita. So links in the description to Aoshita. You could check out at their site with PayPal, which is nice. Or you can go to AliExpress if you want to do that for whatever fucking madman reason you want to go and shop at AliExpress ever. There's some weird shit on there. You know inflatable tanks at AliExpress? Someone needs to send me that. I would put an inflatable tank in my front yard. Just like something that's good for like 100 yards. You can't tell if it's real. And this is $219 dues. Yeah, $219 dues. And so I just did an SMSL that was like $400 and a topping that was $200. Now I'm doing an SMSL that's like $490 and a Dilvpoetry DT-1 that's $220. So I'm just doing the same exact thing. So it should just be the same exact results. Only the thing is, this fucking thing impresses the shit out of me amp wise, and I thought it was just gonna be like a whatever, it's a DAC. All right, we'll look at the DT-1 first. Timestamps, Zeos, get it, wake up. I usually watch these videos because I have to rewatch them to figure out what I'm going to link, what I talk about late at night, and I fall asleep, so I have to wake myself up. Zeos, go make some coffee. Bluetooth antenna, because almost all modern DACs have a Bluetooth input. The Bluetooth antenna, PC USB, as opposed to PC USB, you know, fucking, I don't know, choke hold. I don't care. Fiber optic cable, coaxial digital with a cover on it, a nice soft cover. Our two RC outs, which would make this a DAC. I actually have these running to the speakers over there. And if I unplug this, it will switch, or I can use a remote to switch. We've got a power plug, which is a 12 volt DC power transformer thing down there. We've got two tubes. What are these? NJ, hold on. These are 6N3 tubes. I don't know if that's the model number. I'm not a tube freak. There are people who are watching this right now going, see, so those are those 6N3. This one glows brighter than that one. Is that a positive thing? The shape is weird AF. It looks like a bowl, like it goes like it's half up. It looks like there's supposed to be a piece on top that then curves around, but it's just whatever. There's a fucking mirror on the front of it, because why wouldn't there be? You get a 4.4 Pentacon balanced output, and I'm not sure 100% that this is a balanced outputting amp. There's no, I mean, maybe it says something in like the 19th manual, it's written in Mandarin but it comes with a 4.4 Pentacon output and then a 1/4 inch output, which I brought up my Sennheiser. I brought down my HD 280 Pros because he's lived up in my office, and it's time to give them the praise they need for $100 fucking headphone. Decon. So we're going to plug that in there. And then it has the screen, which is a legit screen. It says opt input 4.41. It's got a bar on the bottom. It's a progress bar for the volume. It says volume. It says 42. If you take the buttons here, which there are 3 of, power, which is also select for the input. So optical, coaxial's not plugged in, Bluetooth's not hooked up, USB is not plugged in. Optical shows you the kilohertz. You hold it down to turn it on and off. These are your volume buttons. So you literally press it and you get big, I'm sorry if that light's fucking you up, everybody. You get big, blue, like Nintendo-ish. I don't even know how to describe that blue. And it's a completely digital volume control. Bottom's got, you know, feet in it. This shit's weird. This is a weird unit. And I probably should have reviewed it faster. Because I was like, it'll do whatever it does and it'll be. So that's the unit tour of that. Let's do the unit tour of the DO200. The DO200. Slightly bigger form. It's a different build. SMSL's got probably multiple factories just working on the exact same products. Because why would you make a $400 DAC called the SU9N and then a $490 DAC called the DO200, and they're in different chassis but in the same close enough price range? Like what? With the same screen, but they're not the shape the same? Like, I don't understand. By the way, over there is the HO200, which I should have pulled out, and well, I can still pull it out. Link to anime stickers. See, that's why I have to rewatch it. So I literally reviewed this. I think this is also Aoshida, and I fucking loved it. This was SMSL's entry into the Singzer topping A90, like belongs in my rack sort of thing, and I just haven't hooked it up. I should hook it up. I should just hook the fucking thing up, and I just haven't got around to hook it up. And this is the matching DAC for it in the weird, like it's its own little form factor. It doesn't match the SU series at all. I don't get it. I should put a sticker on this, actually. I should peel off the high-res sticker. There's high-res stickers on both. So I'll link to this, because this amp fucking rocked ass. I know that doesn't make a sense. You really kick rocks. What movie was that from? Man, this thing really kicks rocks. Oh, fuck. I forget what movie that's from. So it's been a while, and now I have the DAC variant of that, so the matching DAC. And it does everything I'd wanted a DAC to do, and then some. And if I pull it up, and I have so many things hooked up to it right now, so give me a second. This. Okay, good. Don't crush my 909s. We have got our power bus here, so built-in power, USB optical coaxial, II2s, so that's what the HDMI plug here is for. We've got AES, which is the balanced cable version of digital input, which means you can run like a 70-foot cable and be fine. And then we have our balanced outputs and our single-ended outputs, and I'm using these KLE RCAs from World's Best, and also these. I'll link some World's Best shit. Zeo's linked some World's Best shit. So having AES and I2S, that makes this a top-end DAC. This might be the cheapest DAC, because it's under $500. This might be the cheapest DAC that uses this input. Now, I'm just going to level with you. The fact that I'm using it is a fluke, because if I was a normal human being, I wouldn't have a Pi-Hat audio injector there, which is feeding me I2S, because most things don't have it. Sources that have the HDMI connector are fucking rare. I just happen to have it because I have that, and you could probably figure one out, but tell me in the comments if you have I2S sources that is not coming from a Pi-Hat. I'll listen. I'll wait here. So it's got the full barrage of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inputs to count Bluetooth. That's all of them. That's all of them. You got one fiber optic, you got one coaxial, you don't get to double it up. And your outputs are full balanced and full RCA. And the fascia of the unit is a knob. Put it back on the amazingly nice Grove-made stand, which is currently over the Ferrum stack, which is no longer a stack. It's now a spread. Ferrum spread. I'm a fan of spreads. Give me the stack shit. Everyone wants a stack. No. How about slots or books? What would you call that? because that's not a stack. That's like a bookshelf. That's like books on a bookshelf. And I run them that way. I don't know if there's a label for that. So yeah, that's the end of the tour of this unit. It's got a much nicer body than the other SMSL. It's got the exposed starhead screws around the front that look really nice, real thick piece of aluminum here. The chassis has got rounded edges. It just feels more premium than the SU9N1. It just feels more premium, and it's got basically the same amount of controls in it, which is a push button that you can hold to turn it off, and then push it to turn it on, and it says SMSL, and then it takes a second, and then it says, here's the thing, if I hit next track, that's you, right? Where's mute? Yeah. So let's mute the tube thing for a second, because now we're on to something else. Let's put on my TH909s, coming out of the Ferrum. Ooh, are you the, ooh, what's your name? The hype sauce is that one. That's the, ooh. Next. So it's playing music, it's blatantly getting signal from that. Yet here, it says no signal. So it's showing me the HDMI, it says no signal. And I am stupid. I've been doing this job for 7, 8 years now, and I should know better. But I didn't have the headphones plugged in. I wanted to make sure the DAC was working. So I'm like, all right, put it on. No signal. Huh. Check the wires, no signal. Change the tracks, double check the thing, do everything but plug in headphones and turn them on. So it says no signal, but it's blatantly getting signal. So I don't know if that's just the output of that. I know there are flags you have to set. If you're using an II2s, there's no like full standard. So there's like, it could either be pin 14 or pin 15, and you have to change it for DSD and things like that. So I kept fucking with all the options, and I didn't just plug in a headphone and listen to it. So it'll say no signal and work just fine. I have it currently on preamp control here, which it uses the new SMSL remote, the same as the SU9N, which we can control here, up and down, very nice. It's got the same issue where the up, down, left, right don't do anything, where the middle button gets you to the menu, which we'll go over the menu, I guess, in more detail in a second. You've got input, you've got function, which you can change what the function button does in this unit. One of the upgrades over the 9N is that the function button is definable. On the 9N, it was Bluetooth. On this, I set it to switch the outputs. So you could either have RCA normal or XLR normal, or RCA normal or XLR normal. And the reason I say the word normal is because you could also do XLR inverted or RCA inverted or all. That's a thing you can do. So just let me have it. All right, we're getting to it. Mute is mute, it says muting, and volume up and down. It's faster to turn the knob. Now, I'm using the volume control here, and I have this on 80. So where am I? So wait, let's go back to the other, this. So now we'll do this remote. We're doing remotes at the same time, just like the last stack fucking review. This one's weird, because SMSL, I know SMSL has finally got to a new, more basic, simple remote. I love it. This is a fucking Dilvpoetry tube DAC amp combo. So you get power, select, mute. The ring then becomes Bluetooth, coaxial, USB optical, or output mode. Then there's a sideways switch that's tube on, tube off. Then there's buttons below that that are volume down, volume up. And then there's display, which shuts off the display. Okay, so which one should I look at first? I think that one's actually more interesting. They're both more interesting. The last DAC off was like, all right, it's whatever. You know, the topping was good. It had a decent headphone amp. It was decent headphone amp. It wasn't exceptional. It was decent. And it was $200, and you can't go wrong. I had multiple. And then the 9N didn't have MQA. Worth buying? Absolutely, because it doesn't have MQA. So why is it for $90 more, you get so much more DAC? Just the adding of AES and II2s should be worth $90. It's a Saber DAC because all these new ones are Saber DACs. They're getting away from the AKMs until they can actually get AKMs reliably. So you, for $90 more than the 9N, you get AES and I2S inputs. If that was the only changes, that's it. You want to spend $90, do it. Those $90, no. But And I don't know if I'm going to take the camera off my head again. We're going to go through the menu, which has more stuff, legitimately, than the 9N. So inputs, we get now fucking 6 of them instead of 4. The outputs, you get to choose the outputs of being all normal. So you're going to both come out XLR and RCA. All of it, all at the same time. Or you can choose XLR normal, RCA normal, all inverted, XLR inverted, RCA inverted, because some people like inverted phase. So I'm going to leave it on all normal. PCM filter, you only get 3. So there's actually less filter options, which I don't care about filters, but the other one had 2 customized filters, which I've never seen before. This one only has fast linear, slow minimum, and minimum phase. So I'll put it on slow minimum because I don't fucking care. SPDIF mode. This has a SPDIF mode, which I'm not using SPDIF right now. I'm using I2s. So usually I just use SPDIF because it's easier. But if I can, fuck, I get like once every 3 months I could use my I2s plug. So SPDIF mode has processor or normal. So it'll process the SPDIF through, I think, the DSD engine. And it'll try to clean up. I think the process thing is to clean up SPDIF. Very similar to what the Element 3 can do with the de-emphasizer on SPDIF. So you have normal or processor. It comes default on processor. I'm leaving it on processor. I haven't plugged it in SPDIF, so it doesn't matter. Sound color. Same as on the 9N. Same as on the SMSL VMV-A1. This is a high-end feature. I like this feature. If you don't know what it is, you can watch my other review, or I can explain right now. You basically have you have 10 modes. 10, that's this many modes. Standard, which is just a DAC. It's when you want to measure it, you put it on standard, you measure your DAC, it's clean, it's good, great. Then you have Rich 1, 2, and 3. Again, not associated with Rich Evans of Red Letter Media fame. Tube 1, 2, and 3, and Crystal 1, 2 of 3. Tube of toothpaste, Crystal method, blah, 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 same joke. And these are flavors, not EQs, so to speak, just DSP fuckery that someone at a factory at SMSL was like, what if we make it just do this? Does it sound like a tube? Kind of. In fact, I have been enjoying this whole setup because I'm tired of DACs that are all the same on Tube 2. I put Tube 2 on. And I'm actually coloring. I know. Fucking send me to the gulags. Tube 2. How dare you, Zeos? That little girl who used to yell at. How dare you? How dare you? Tubed sound color? Yeah. Because you know what? 909s, they need some color. I'm not going to... You put a neutral as fuck, dead, silent, clean amp on this, they're not that good. They're kind of annoying. You need something. It's in a 1950s tube amp to have these power right. Literally in a hybrid. You had a 1950s hybrid power tube to get these to be like, to get the out of them. So yeah, fuck it. I'm running the Ferrums with a tube sound. Pre-mode is basic, variable, or fixed. I have it on variable for reasons of testing and just because I want to keep it less than 100 and run this at a little higher volume. Function key 4. Function key is either the switch XLR RCA, all outputs. So I guess it'll just, you hit it and it's all outputs and that's it. Bluetooth or switch phase. You want to be inverted phase or regular phase. I'm not a fan of the phase switch. I don't think it does anything. If you're a fan of the phase switch, tell me. Tell me an example. I want to know. I feel like of all the weird audiophile bullshit, at least inverting the phase might do something. Maybe. Which means instead of the speakers coming out and then being like that, they're in and being like that. Most people can't hear a difference in phase inversion, but I guess for you golden ears who can, that's your key. That's your key. Oh, DPLL, right? DPLL bandwidth. On the 9N and one of the other SMSL I think that I reviewed, this was set default to 7, and it says when you adjust it, lower is better. This unit defaulted to 5, which is where I usually keep it. And I set it to 3 because I always go down because lower is better. I've gotten some DACs where I've lowered the DPLL bandwidth too low and all of a sudden they stop making sound. But I put it to 3 and it seems to still work fine. It might also be on 5 because I'm using that input. Maybe it changes. So DPLL is better on this than the 9N. I gotta warm my hand up. It's freezing down here. And now here we get to the II2s modes. There's 3 buttons. There's 3 settings. II2s mode, which is normal or inverted. Again, it's a phase thing. So we could have the inverted phase on the mode and then an inverted phase on the output if we really wanted to. That's dumb. Then II2s DSD channel, and you could pick between DSD LPCM data or DSD LPCM LRAC, LRCK. I don't know what that would be short for. Line rock. And then there's the II2s DSD flag, which is either pin 14 or pin 15. And these don't seem to affect it because they're DSD features and I'm not playing any DSD audio. Then you have dimmer, which is a display, and then you have brightness, which is a display. Dimmer is a time route for the display. Let's see if it's the same as the other one. Yep, it goes 0 to 60 or never to 60 in 5-second increments. Like 45 seconds? Nuh-uh. That's too fast. I have it shut off in 50 seconds. Like, what the fuck? That's weird. And then reset, and you don't get an info button on this one. On the 9N, you get an info, and it tells you the software version. So it's like two teams were given almost identical end budgets, and they were sent to different rooms, and they had some basic SMSL stuff. Like, all right, we got this screen. All right, we got this screen. We got these sound color modes, and somehow the DO200 team crammed II2s in there, AES. They still got the sound color modes. They now have SPDIF modifications. They've got fucking adjustable function. It's just better. And it's got MQA support, which I don't support MQA support. I don't support MQA support. I am unsupporting MQA supporting. Okay, so let me get that straight. I don't support it, but usually adding MQA to a device jacks the price up. So I would have thought that taking the MQA away from the 9N would have meant that, oh, it should be a $500 DAC, and now it's only a $400 DAC. Clap, 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 clap. But now it's back in this with all these other features, and the price is only $90 more. I like this DAC more than the 9N. I'm going to have to, when I'm doing the review of the 9N, because one's going to come out before the other. Obviously, this one's coming out after the 9N review. They're both in the camera still. I haven't given them out. I'm going to have to put a note on Patreon and Subscribestar when I release it to them and be like, look, check this other review out, because if you're going to spend the money on the 9N, maybe spend the money on the AO200 or the DO200. DO200. I mean, spend the money on the AO200 too, because it's a fucking baller amplifier. This is an amazing stack. That if you can do that stack, you are set. This is the best thing SMSL makes, is this. Unless I get to that big SMSL VMV, whatever the hell combo thing, Class A, because that's absurd. So yeah, the DO200. Deal. It's ideal. Now, off of that, onto this motherfucker, because this is the surprise. I had no expectations of this. The Ashita plus Dilvpoetry DAC DT-1 with the stupid push buttons for volume and the tubes that are different brightnesses, and it's a weird motherfucker. Like, it just says made in China in the biggest font you've ever seen. And it gets nice and warm, which is great because I'm cold. So I'm just going to hold it for the whole review and shake. But so, as a person who listens to things, and this is not my first rodeo with this, as a DAC, forgetting that these fucking headphone outputs in the front exist, as a DAC, this is interesting. Just a pure $220 DAC, because it's a legit tube DAC. Like, you could turn the tubes on and off, and in all honesty, turning the tubes off, it says tube off, the tubes don't darken. They're still glowing. So they're always going to be warmed up and ready to go. It just clicks over a relay that runs a circuit through the solid state or the solid state tube. So it's a hybrid system, obviously. I think it would have to be a hybrid system. A true tube DAC, which you take in the small amplification and amplify, probably exists somewhere. I think Tor might make one. Tor makes the Roger, that thing, and the balanced. So they might have one that's a true tube DAC. But this is the first affordable tube DAC, because the tubes affect the RCA outputs in the back, not just the headphone outputs in the front. So as purely a DAC, this is fucking interesting. Because if you want to color your sound just a little bit, if you got a baller solid state, which this is a weird solid state, we'll get to that, but you have a baller solid state, and you want a little bit of fucking, just give me a little, you could either get a tube amp like a TA26 linked in the description from Apos. You could either get something like a TA26, and it's got RCA ins and RCA outs, and you'd run your normal everyday solid state DAC, even though this one's running on the tube profile. Let's not get confused now. So you could do like a normal boring, I don't have any normal boring DACs, but normal DAC, run it through a tube amp. Don't plug headphones in, just have the RCAs come in, RCAs go out, and then run those RCAs to your solid state, and you could add a little bit of that tube flavor to the sound coming out of a solid state. You basically make a hybrid. These are hybrid. This is a hybrid, and that's a hybrid. Those are tube amps that are also solid state amps. So they have a preamp that's doing things. This essentially eliminates that step because you have tubes on it. And I haven't tube rolled this, but with the way it sounds,
actually, good work, by the way. I just want to say.
And I'm obviously demoing on speakers because if I have the speakers here, I'm going to demo on speakers. But the way it sounds, not just through the DAC on the back, but through the headphones on the motherfucking front. Let me pick up the Hyphaman Anandas again. And I'm going to whip out this triple win cable. Zeos linked the triple win cable, which is so nice, made of fabric. And I'm going to plug it into the fucking balanced output, which I don't expect 4.4 Pentacon on most things. I love it, and when it's there, that's like 5 extra points. But let me take the volume down a little bit in case it's going to blow up. But now those aren't playing, I think. Yeah, it automatically switched. If I do output mode, it could do both, and it lowers the volume quite a bit. Which I don't want it to do both. Now, you only have the option for output front and rear or auto. And I accept that. How many fucking units have I recently reviewed that I fucking yelled at? Because you plug a headphone in and the back still plays. So you put your headphones on your desk, you turn on your computer, oh, my speakers are playing, turn it up, and it's turning up your headphones, and you don't notice, and your headphones explode. Or you're listening to headphones and your speakers are playing, and your mom's like, why are you watching porn in there? Watch it in the living room with your daddy. So the fact that you plug it in and it detects, or you could have it set to both, the only issue is it doesn't do just ass. It does front and ass, or auto detect, but you can't leave everything plugged in and just switch between front and back. You either have it set to auto, which will always take front priority, or both, which does both. So it's missing one feature. One more loop in that, because it's a play the music. You go output mode. Now both. But I just want to hear speakers without unplugging my headphones. Can't. Helltaker. Vitality. I paid. I didn't even play Helltaker. I just seen all the Rule 34 that's ever existed. I made Pasta play it once on stream and she didn't like it. And then I bought the soundtrack in FLAC off of Bandcamp. Zeos, future Zeos. In the description will be a link to the Bandcamp for Mitzi. I think it's Mitzi. Mitzi's does the Helltaker soundtrack. And God bless it. I don't even know what I want to do to the soundtrack. But it's something dirty. This thing sounds fucking amazing as a headphone amp. Like amazing. Like it's a fucking 9 out of 10 tube hybrid. 9 out of 10. There's not many 9 out. There was no expectation of this sounding this good. I figured, oh, it's cute. It's got tubes. It looks like shit. I'm not gonna lie. The fucking wavy mirror cut. Like, what? I have a thing in my... Hold on. Guest bedroom. What is this shit? Like, where is that? Like this, what is this? Previous owner of the fucking house? Where is this good? No. 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 This is the weirdest design. People complain a little bit about like a Shelly Labs OS2 plane. Well, at least they didn't do this. Jesus. Oh my God. Anyway, this is like X-Duo MT604 levels of holy shit. And it's a DAC and it has outputs. So give me a second. I'm going to switch Aru. I want to do a test right now, because if this is truly a balanced unit, and I'll lower the volume, which goes down there, then the 1/4 inch output should be quieter than the 4.4 millimeter output. And I'm not sure if it's gonna be able to play both at the same time. I may have to unplug one. Let's put Mitzi back on, because I love the Helltaker OST. That song is 3 minutes and 47 seconds. Let's put back on these. And I've got the Heart audio cables. Actually, those are Heart audio connectors. And this is a Scable. So let's see. That's loud, Jesus. Oh. And this should be quieter. It is. It's legit quieter. It's not a convenience thing. This is actually balanced. Because there's no reason to have it. It's 6-7 decibels louder. This is a balanced tube DAC amp combo. I mean, we set up hi-fi guides, which, by the way, I'm apologizing officially that hi-fi guides has not been updated in like 9 months, because DMS and I are either always busy and too lazy. No one actually clicks anything on the main page. Everyone lives in the forums. If you haven't been to the hi-fi guides forums, please go. There will be a custom periapt cable with the colors of the forums, and hoping to get merch going on there. Not sure if we want to manage Discord or anything. I feel like there might be another option for getting people to actually actively talk without making it cancer. But Hi-Fi Guides, the forums, thumbs up, A+, love the mod staff, everything's great. Hi-Fi Guides, the site, I apologize. So apparently plugging in the 1/4 inch does not affect that. And this, you know how hard it is to get 909s to play nice with an amp? Like, even on the Ferrums, even with this on Tube 2, these are still a little bit like, but on this, it's so long, tall Sally. She's so sweet. She got everything a Papa John needs. I think it's Papa John, right? Did Papa John Pizza get named after the Long Tall Sally song? I am fucking shocked how good that sounds. Just shocked. Like, let's go to the headphones that I have ignored for years, even though I love them. And these are, so if you don't know about the Sennheiser 280 Pros, because it's been a fucking hot minute since I've talked about them. I owned an original set for 9 years. It was my only headphone as I grew up. I got them for $80, and that was the most I was ever going to spend on headphones. Oh, the words of the youth. They're so stupid. So I used a pair of these for 9 years, and I was fucking done with them. Because after I moved to the Brainwaves HM5s, we're talking about like 2015 here. After I moved to the Brainwaves HM5s, I was like, well, these have low end and soundstage. I didn't even know those were a thing. So I gave up on the 280s. And then the 280 new ones came out like 10 years later. And I see them all over the internet. Everyone's got fucking Joe Rogan podcasts. Everyone's wearing them. And the new ones, they say that there's nothing different, but I can fucking trust me, they're different. These things are so fucking clean. It's $100 and they're super neutral. Super neutral. Super neutral. Like HD600 super neutral. But closed back, like 30 degrees of decibel isolation. Neutral, isolated. And then you fuck around with them with a little bit of tube. And I'm talking about real tube. Like, this is still a hybrid. So this is going to be good. But if you want to, oh my God, they're so noise canceling. If you ever want to know how good your tube amp is, 2 headphones you need. HD600 Sennheiser, 280 Pro Sennheiser. That's the wrong finger. Let's put that away. And now on this, make sure your wire is plugged in all the way. More power. But the low end rumbles. Like, why am I rumbling low end? Wait, I have up and down. Let's go to luminescent. I can't fast forward this remote. Dude, this is a dumb amp. Why are you so dumb, bro? 69, do it. I mean, you ugly as fuck. Let's just get this out of the way. This ugly as fuck. But for 220, if they're reliable, if the tubes don't explode, or if the tube changes. Here's the thing. If I am listening to this and I hit tube off or tube on, I guess tube off, I hear almost no difference. So as much as I want to be like, oh man, tubes, oh man, hitting the tube on and off button, which literally clicks the relay, you hear it, doesn't seem to make too much of a difference. I mean, we the speakers are on, so here, let's do this. And it goes click, and it's like, okay, now it's back volume and different volume. It remembers the volume from the previous volume, so we go back. Tube on. Tube off. Sounds fantastic either way. So this is a video of shock and awe. The price shock of the DO200 being only $90 more than the 9N and being like having $400 more features, at least $300 more features, is like, oh, well, shit, get that one. And it matches the fucking HO200, which I don't pull out enough, and it's fucking great. It literally lives there. It's just not plugged in yet. And that was like, I thought that would be enough shock and awe for a video. But what the fuck is this thing? Dilvpoetry, which Dilvpoetry sounds like they make dill pickles, really good ones. So I mean, I'm just yeah. This combo here, this one, is so fucking dumb. Like, just here you go. Go get your fucking Anandas and a $220 combo DAC amp tube thing hybrid, and live in utter happiness. So if you're on the edge about getting the X Duo, like the 604, I'll link the MT604 in the description. If you're on the edge, but it's a pain in the ass, you got to put the knobs up, and you got to run it with a balanced input, and you got to control the output somewhere else. This is a hell of a cheap alternative to getting that. It's a little bit more money, but it's like we just plug in a fiber optic and you're done. Coaxial USB. It is the ugliest thing on earth. Wallpaper. It's a little rough around the edges. I love this art style. If you don't download my wallpapers, please, in the description of every video is my wallpaper download. And I may even try to do a Roselio sync with all my wallpapers I've ever used, so I just give them out. I want people to find the artists and support the artists. They shouldn't be locked behind a paywall. So there's a video on the second channel. If I'm not promoting the second channel enough, go to the description. Zeos, link previously the Sound Demo channel. If you're currently subscribed to that, that has become the second channel where I'm just going to put random shit. And I talked about Roselio Sync, and I put a link in the description to share all my wallpapers that I've ever used with everyone. So go there. I'm not going to, 8 people are watching the video at this point, but download this wallpaper in the description and look at how it's like, I love that. I love how it's just completely rough. Like that line goes over that line. Someone drew this like in a fever dream and it's perfect. And someone drew this in a fever dream and it's perfect. I kind of want a top for it to continue that slope and then just have like a box, like a little lunch box. Yeah, no, these are dumb. Dumb. I just, the width and the warmth, I don't talk about sound a lot. I know I'm a bad man. I talk about how things make me feel, but I don't actually describe, like, I don't watch other YouTube reviewers. Spoiler alert. I don't watch other reviewers of headphones and audio products. I don't, because I feel like I'm going to pick up on their mannerisms and I don't want to do that. So I avoid it like the plague. So I don't know how anybody else, I don't know how Joshua Valor or DMS or fucking In-Range TV, you actually watch In-Range TV because it's about guns and guns are fun. But I don't watch any other reviewers. I can't even name anymore. Sorry if I forgot who you are. Critical. I don't like Critical. Everyone says Critical's funny. I don't watch. I don't open up the video. I refuse to open up the video because I don't want to. I'm a copycat of mannerisms and I want to be myself. So I don't know how I would describe what this is doing like they would describe how it's doing. And I know I'm the only one that's going to fucking review it because it's weird as fuck. It's just wide and soft and it's tube beyond tube. Like this has tube settings and I'm getting a little bit of tube flavor out of my solid states, but that actually has fucking tubes in it. If I got a Woo audio product that was $1,100 and it sounded like this, I would give it extremely high praise. So what the fuck am I supposed to say about a $220 Dilvpoetry? We're gonna have to get some low end from this Fat John. Give me some Fat John low end. Where'd this bass come from? How I can't hold all these limes. It's just there's just I honest to God, the Anandas may have never sounded this good. And it's on a $220 piece of fucking ugly piece of shit. But that's what this channel's about. It's about ugly pieces of shit. I'm an ugly piece of shit. If you're watching this, you're probably an ugly piece of shit. No offense. But that's why we need to take these ugly pieces of shit and we got to love them. We got to love these ugly. In fact, I'm doing it. I'm doing it right now. This was my alternative sticker. It's Aqua. This is the Aqua of fucking amps because it's not ugly, but it's like you can't hate her. You can't hate Aqua because she's still a goddess. She does godly things, God punch, and fucking I'm done. This got stickered. That's fucking crazy. I should sticker these because at least this one, because at least I know that amp is fucking. So now I'm tempted to output from this into the II200 and just blow my fucking brains up. Okay, I'm done. That wallpaper, linked in the description. If you want every wallpaper I've ever done ever, you do not have to join my Patreon or Subscribe Star. You should do that to see videos early, participate in yard sales, and listen to lossless sound demos and the sound demo archives backed up from the destruction of YouTube, because YouTube's a piece of shit. If you want to do those three things, join my Patreon, $5 a month, or Subscribe Star, $5 a month. For $10 a month, you get in the behind the scenes Telegram chat. Those people know everything that's going on. They're going to know about this right now, because I literally ignored this for 3 months. And I only set it up yesterday, and I listened to it yesterday, today. And I keep being more astonished by it. So they're going to know in this full-on hyper mode of Zeos, so I'm going to give them the link, and they're going to be gone. For the $10 patrons get everything first, and the $5 patrons get everything as soon as this video gets uploaded and rewatched and linked. And then you people, you puppies, fucking puppies. I don't know when you're getting it, because there's a line of getting videos out. So yeah, thank you to Ayoshida for sending both of these units. And thank you to Dilvpoetry and Ayoshida for making this fucking ugly. I mean, I'd even point out the fact that there's like holes around the tube, but it only goes up and then it's like a wave. It's like every design cue that you could possibly take to make it look cute and interesting is just throw it in there. Fuck it. Mirror in the front does a thing. Fine. Looks like my ugly fucking guest bedroom shelf. Why? This thing sounds amazing. And I wish I would have done it sooner, but then it would have ruined me for these other things. I wouldn't have been excited at all. Anyway, that wallpaper, description, all those links. Fuck it. Thank you. See you next time. Blah, 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 blah.